Hi everybody, welcome. It's my Parshat Shavuah slot, talking about this our weekly Torah reading. This week we're reading Vayakhel-Pekudei. We meet every single week at 7:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. You're invited to come and talk about the Parsha and how it gets inside of us and relates to who we are and the lives that we're living right now. Next week I'm also excited to welcome Yair Eldan, who is one of my favorite teachers in the world, calling in from Jerusalem to talk to us about next week's Parsha, a whole new book of the Bible, Parshat Vayikra. Be there for that recording. This week we're in Vayakhel-Pekudei, a double Parsha, so two Parshiot Mechubarot stuck together, and one line from the Parsha, Shesh Yamim Ta'aseh Melacha V'Yom HaShvi'i Yeh Lechem Kodesh Shabbat Shabbaton L'Adonai. That's the verse at the beginning of this week's Parsha, and it speaks about keeping the Shabbat, and keeping the Shabbat that will be a day of holiness for you. The crucial part that's often overlooked is that it says Shesh Yamim Ta'aseh Malacha, that 6 days of the week we work. And I was thinking this week about several different parts, but in one aspect, we're people that work. As a humanity, we work. We work to put bread on the table. We work to care for one another. We work to look after children. We work to earn a living. There are many different aspects to the way in which we work. And put on the table at the beginning of this week's Parsha is a version which says, work really hard. And that's a really important aspect of Jewish community, important aspect of what it is to be alive as human beings, important aspect of something to learn this week. The other aspect then, the second part of that interplay, that dynamic, is to be people who also rest. And if you take Shabbat out of the equation just for a moment, the seventh day, that interplay is a really complex interplay as human beings. How do we become super invested and super connected to the work that we're doing, tied emotionally and spiritually to the work that we're doing, to give it our all in any given week, in any given day, in any given moment, but then also allow for that work to kind of dissipate and dissolve away, that we also are able to become people of rest, people of presence, people of sitting still and being with loved ones, being with family, being with lovers, being with others, and not to be contingent and chained to our work. That's a really interesting interplay. And then you bring into that story a question of Shabbat, which is this place of love, this place of holiness, where we have once a week this space of experimentation of what it means to give up our work. And I'm interested in the version in the Mishnah of why the 39 descriptions of work are described as 40 minus 1 rather than 39. And the Midrash tells us because it should be on Shabbat as if we've completed all of our work. And this is also a spiritual and mental exercise, that once a day, or theoretically any given moment, you can live as if all of your work is done. And you embrace that peace and serenity around the question of completing and finishing work. Another aspect of this week, which is the last piece that I will draw on and then we'll close for the week, is a question of what happens when your dreams don't come to fruition. And I've been thinking about this also in relation to the weather, because at least where I've been this week, it's been a very stormy week, and there have been parts of my week that have totally turned upside down, and where I thought it was going to be X, it's been Y and Z and so on. And I've been thinking about the spirituality of permitting for change to happen. I don't have a particularly good answer, but I loop back round to the question of Shabbat, where somehow Shabbat also enables us to surrender that aspect of control. that 6 days I try really, really to steer the ship. I try and steer the ship in a particular direction towards my goals and ambition and dreams. And then on Shabbat, in relation to the drash on the Mishnah, I let go. And it doesn't matter about the direction. It doesn't matter about the creative direction. And that's a spiritual destination itself. And enabling us to make possible a detachment from the ambitions and expectations that we have. That's also there in Shabbat. That once a week you say, you know, this week didn't turn out exactly as I intended, but it's Shabbat now. It's the 7th day, and on the 7th day of the Sabbath, I let go of some of those expectations. And when I come back, Motzei Shabbat, come back to the first day of the week, which we call Sunday, I start again. And maybe I can reharness and revise my expectations and ambitions. Those are important stances for this week. I wish everybody a really good Shabbat, a really good beginning of next week. Please like, share, and comment on this post. It's really helpful to hear how you listen to this Torah and ask questions about any other aspects of what we're putting out, what we're teaching. Big love, Shabbat Shalom. Thanks so much.